Oh, big hare again.
Ho, 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 ho!
Yes! Yes!
Come on!
First time out on the estate with Kyle and Tommy. First time out this year for Kyle's eagle. We don't want it too windy because we don't know how it's going to behave. So we're going to have a scout around, see what we see, and then hopefully a bit of ferreting later on. So Kyle, how's he been behaving? You have to speak up because I've got the mic.
I've got the hood on. I've done something fundamentally wrong this season. Yeah, it's not been good at all. It's not been my style.
But you don't know why, do you?
I think I understand more now. I think it's he played up so much once he was reclaimed and once he had a settling period that I reduced his weight more than I've ever taken him down to by almost 2 ounces, just to get that trigger that response. And he was just acting like a fat eagle. He was scared, he wouldn't hood, he had no interest in food. And then I didn't increase his weight once he'd begun, and I think having taken him so low, he wouldn't have any vascular fat, certainly no condition, and became really aggressive. And where I've always done fist work with him and never really done lure work with him, all of that frustration, all of that anger was channeled into the fist, which was channeled into my arm, which was channeled into me, and was very nearly channeled to the side of my face. So I've increased the weight, the behaviour's got better, but he still isn't consistent. So although I'm always nervous to fly a bird free each year, even though this is Stan's 3rd season with me now, I'm still very, very twitchy today.
So again, thermal spotters, exceptionally good if used in a way to promote not only sporting falconry, but a conservation approach to the land and the game. I have been out with people that don't get that, and they'll probably say thermals don't contribute to good falconry or conservation of the land. They just contribute to mediocre flights and bag size. But thermals used in a good way are certainly a positive for falconry, no different to running a dog is, ferrets are, or telemetry and so on. Technology is always advancing, but if your game is to just, your name of your game is to just increase bag size and not to have sporting falconry, then that's a different matter. Certainly not his old self at the moment, as we can now see. He can fly though, that's me thinking he's tired. Got your glove on, because I'm not feeling very happy right now. I'm unprotected. Well, Kyle has been very concerned about Stan's behaviour, as he mentioned. He's a not problematic. He's a strange in the head eagle anyway, but yeah, he's looking around for stuff, but not returning to the glove from 2 feet away. And do you know what I think it is? Kyle's just brought a brand new glove. Oh, I think we'll be going home after this. I'd give Kyle your glove.
Hey!
He's plucking at his foot. Oh, his anklet. I wonder what he's plucking at. But he caught a dead thing. Oh, nice. Oh, Kyle! So, pretty much as Kyle was worrying about, definitely not got his head on right this year, Stanley. It's always a bit mental health as best of times, but it's not going anywhere. He's had a few fly arounds. He keeps coming back to the tree, but one thing we did think, that Kyle's got a new glove because his other one's got holes in, and it is a different colour, so we've swapped back to the old glove. Sometimes it's the little things you sort of don't think about all the time, and then when you've got a twitchy bird anyway, and it's being like this, Kyle's going to just drag a rabbit in an effort to get him back, and then ferreting with Tom. Kyle's tangled in himself. Oh no, here we go. So how bad he is, Kyle just dragged a rabbit on a short bit on a leash, and he left the tree for it, and then even spooked then, you know, which is when you think he's been flying on the rope line to Kyle. Kyle can't get away from him. He's an ounce and a half lighter today, and he's still behaving like an idiot. Oh, caught that in fine style. Oh, no, he's let it go. Okay. So the name of the game is not to spend the whole day messing around. We just want to get Stan back. Kyle's kind of had his trial. Still more work needed. Didn't go to plan, but didn't go too unexpected either. So, how many rabbits now?
20 so far this season. Yeah, so hopefully 1 or 2 more today.
Has he caught any in the daylight?
Yeah, he's had a couple of slips. He's caught 1 in the day, but most have been at night at the minute on the lamp.
Well, I saw that one. That was a good one. So
yeah, hopefully a couple
we'll
more
see.
today.
We'll see. No sheep catching.
Yeah.
So there's a stream down there. This land I had this permission. Core blimey. Before I got Zeus, I was flying my last Goshawk. Well, not my white one, the last Goshawk. And I got permission on here and I couldn't believe it. Loads of open little warrens, perfect for ferreting hawks, like 3, 4, 6, 8 holers. And rabbits everywhere. And a lot of the warrens along the fence line here, sheep netting. So I had to teach that young hawk, which you can do, to not obviously fly straight into the netting and pull its wings off. And the way you teach that is to ferret the ones by the fence. Often the rabbit will run the fence line and then it'll turn through under its run. And the fact that the hawk's following it close to the fence and then it turns through to go right, then bounces off, it's not flying, you know, 100 yards across the field straight into it. And obviously it probably still hurts a bit, somewhat uncomfortable, but the bird learns pretty quick. Then even when it does chase a whole field to flip over, it recognises that stuff can't be flown through. So sandy ground and lots of satellite warrens. And then for probably 10 to 12 years ago now, this land got hit by VHD, and it went from one season like Watership Down to 0 rabbits, and it remained like that for very many years. And you might have seen the odd one or two, but almost lost all of its rabbits from VHD over one season, one summer. And then a couple of years ago, the boys were finding enough numbers to lamp and not take all the rabbits off, if that makes sense. And this year, Tommy and Kyle, well, Kyle's now moved away, Tommy's back on here, and he's come out at night, and he said, Dave, you've never seen so many rabbits in your life, which is what it was like. So it's took them over a decade, but they have bounced back, seemingly now, properly, from VHD, to the point you're even getting a bit of mixy, which normally doesn't affect the colony much really nowadays, but you're seeing a bit of mixy in the population, which as a population, the rabbits are pretty immune to as a whole. VHD just decimates the whole population. So hopefully they're outbreeding that now and have developed immunity. And Tommy reckons we're going to see some good sport. But you can say, this is great I've not been here for years. This is great for me. When the rabbits bolt, they have a good distance. So with a good hawk, you can really stand back and get some exceptionally long twisting flights on this grazed ground, like billiard smooth ground. You get really fast rabbits. But let's see. Good move. Oh! Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. They always used to say, like, the wind is obviously good for lamping. But the old days, yeah, they always used to say, like, they're crap when it's really windy for ferret, and they don't like to bolt, do they? I remember reading old timers, and they used to say, maybe it sounds like the wind over a bottle, blown over a bottle top, like, you know, like this. Don't know if it's true or not.
It makes sense though.
Maybe their hearing's not as, it's like they're losing some of their senses when they're out, so they can't hear as well or something.
Then you think on a windy night would be.
Yeah, they don't, yeah, true, yeah. Not sandy there then. Let it go. Dead, huh? Another rabbit. So on this one here, look, this is a weasel's way of killing a rabbit, if you like, ferret, stoat, whatever. It's biting into the back of the neck, so we were actually going to let these go if they would just stop ending and it was scratching at their butts. Unfortunately, that's not going anywhere, so it's kind of a waste of our sport. These rabbits, Tommy doesn't want to waste. We didn't get a flight, rather just get the ferret out, but obviously the ferret's already 80% killed it. Shame, good food for the hawks, but when you're being conservation minded with your quarry, it's kind of a waste, if that makes sense. And obviously, just like flipping rocks for reptiles and mini beasts, put back what you disturb from the landowner's point of view. And again, put back what you disturb, and just full stop. So we're moving now, and those of you that don't hood your Harris hawks, this bird's not following on. We're doing off the fish flights. We don't want it following on today and going off self hunting. Try carrying any bird around in exceedingly windy weather on a flat open countryside, and those birds' wings are coming out, and pop the hood on, problem solved. The hood is a mega tool for falconry. Learn how to use it and why. As mentioned previously, this is a matte agate hood, and look at that for a fit. 10 out of 10. So for the novices, some tips on ferreting. Don't stand on top of the warren, even with a young hawk. Stand back a little bit, because the ferrets, rather the rabbits, don't want to bolt if they know you're there. With a seasoned hawk, look where the rabbit's going to go to and give it as much lure as possible. They'll bolt cleaner and you'll get way more exciting flights. Set a challenge for your seasoned hawk rather than just try and catch another rabbit. Again, if you're ferreting on sheep netted land, make sure your hawk has learnt the dangers of sheep netting before you let it fly across. Use hand signals, not your voice. Close but no cigar. Again, if the rabbit bolts cleanly away, it's not going to find that little hole to get straight down again. Now ideally you want to be downwind from the warren so your smell and sound doesn't travel, but when practicing falconry, the wind direction, you'll be flying more to suit your hawk. Of course, there he goes. So they're not breaking clear, that warren runs down and they're getting back in the holes. Windy weather's great for lamping. Traditionally, it's all said that windy weather, they don't like to bolt cleanly when you're ferreting. And of course, if you're ferreting under a fence line, every time you step over the fence, you're sending vibrations down underground. The essence is you want a clean bolt. And the whole point of ferreting is they think their arch enemy, the stoat, is underground with them, and they want to get out of there. If they have any inkling the worst enemy in the world, mankind, is above ground, they will much rather face their natural enemy. That's the whole point of being quiet, still, stealthy. Movement of the whites of your hand and the white of your face, if you're a white person, is easily spotted as they pop up and have a look around. I'll often have my hand in my pocket, hat on, so on and so forth. The more stealthy you are above ground, the faster and cleaner the rabbits will bolt from the ferret. That means you're not getting cold, you're not getting bored, and you're much more likely to get a clean, really exciting, long, twisty flight than just what we're getting today. They're pressured by the hawk and they're getting straight back down a hole because this is a larger warren. Even kneeling down if need be. Be with your back to a tree or a hedge. Get rid of your silhouette, get rid of your sound. And if you can be downwind, get rid of your smell. But again, you'll often be crosswind with your hawk. see so many falconers with, you know, seasoned birds standing on top of a warren because they just want those numbers. No thought of a quality flight. It's embarrassing. I see we're hare hawking too, in another way. Reliable ferrets are hugely important to make your life so much easier. You can trust a reliable ferret so well. It's just come out. It's followed the scent of that rabbit. Look. She'll follow it. Hopefully, follow it back underground. She knows they're still down there. Always use telemetry on your hawks, and always use a ferret collar. Not just to save your ferret's life, but save your time and energy. You know what's going on. And just like taking your receiver when you go out hawking and not leaving it in the car, it really helps if you take your digging spade when you're ferreting and don't leave that in the car. As awkward as it is, you know, put a bit of string around it, a bit of rope, and sling it over your back like a rifle. The more, like everything else, you learn a craft, the more pleasure there is, because you might learn the hard way, but you learn the difficulties. You learn to do things properly, and the results, fishing, everything, the results are much higher, more reward for less sort of effort in a way. Gain the knowledge of a craft and then put it into practice. So size of the warren is important. If you're starting out ferreting to hawks, if you can find warrens in the open with just 5 or 6 holes and 1 ferret, you're going to get much more success. I do see beginners that say, I've got hundreds of rabbits in this warren along the hedgerow. And they put their ferret down and they'll be like 50 or more holes. You're going to struggle to see that ferret again. It's going to be chasing those rabbits underground all day long. You can apply pressure by putting down more ferrets. But yeah, you're making life harder and harder for yourself. So I'm talking, the boys don't know I'm talking, but the rabbits probably do. And you can see how this rabbit's porpoising. Might even be one of those rabbits that's already come up and gone down, so it knows there's danger there. A bit like reflushing. Sometimes you'll bolt a rabbit to another warren. And then when you flush that rabbit, so you can see that rabbit's under pressure, but not enough to bolt clear. When you flush that rabbit, you flush a rabbit, it goes down another warren, and then you ferret the next warren. The problem you have is down that next warren is a rabbit that already knows you're there. It's very uninclined to bolt. It'll end up getting pinned or killed by the ferret, and you're digging. It's never any fun digging, especially when you're hawking. Clean bolts are what you want. Oh, it's a tough day today. Double break. What was good, he did switch to the one he'd got a chance on. So often they'll lock onto one and they'll ignore the better slip, if that makes sense, when you get 2 for the price of 1. But they're still beating into those little holes. Wow, it's been a while since I've seen rabbit numbers like this in Northamptonshire. Back in their old haunts for sure.
Have we done this one, Carl?
It's actually really nostalgic for me being over here. So it really brings back memories of male goshawk. It's a really good bit of land. Sometimes you can find a relatively small acreage that's so abundant with perfectly flyable game. Other times you can have huge amounts of hectares of what looks like good land with almost nothing on it. So to always take all permission you're offered. It leads to more permission. It might be, you know, there's somewhere you can just go once a year and get a couple of flights and so on, but never turn anything down. All show willing to the farmer, because if he lets you on, his or her neighbour will probably let you on their land, and so it goes on. This whole area floods in the winter floods and holds loads of ducks, wild ducks. So the goshawk, you could wade out quite a long way because it was only a puddle at the end of the day, a giant puddle. Get some great flights of ducks, wild ducks in the stream down there, and again lots of rabbits. So I spent a lot of my time here before I started flying that eagle. So small warren there, warrens along there, warrens and hedgerow here. You're on your own. Where are you going to stand? Well, if it runs that way, long flight, that way, long flight, this way, short flight. You're either blocking off here, short route to the hedge, or standing on the other warren to try and deflect the rabbits in the opposite direction. You're trying to get a good long flight, but if you're on your own, it's always a lot harder. And again, we think and plan. Rabbits do what they want, like all game. Stand on top of the warren. What's the point of that? If you get a flight from there to there, before it gets to there, you're going to be happy with that? Is that your falconry style? 6 metres, 10 metres? Try and engage it and set up the flight to be, you know, weighted in favour of the game, at least 50-50 kind of thing, and to get that spectacle of the chase. Kicking up a hare under your feet with a thermal for your hawk to catch, you know, 10 metres and hold on like a rodeo. I don't know if that's your thing, maybe, but I find it very, very boring, very, very quickly. The hare's prowess is in open ground speed and manoeuvrability, and if you're going to try and stop it before it can engage that, it kind of seems pointless to me anyway, unless you're starving and your hawk's starving and it's the only meat you're going to get. So a good ferret will tell you, like a good dog, very quickly if you're wasting your time, if there's anything home. It won't stay down long. Equally, it won't come out if it knows there's still a rabbit there very easily either. This film's going to take a bit of editing, because obviously I'm not going to make you guys watch through the endless boredom of the nothingness in between. Like a good go fishing programme, you'll just get to see a lot of the action. The ferret knows best. So start with the show. Of course we're out as falconers, but a good ferret, a well cared for ferret, good working ferret, absolutely gold dust.
Cared for, it's obese.
It's obese, got plenty of energy, That's really important member of the team, and often not the best treated of all our animals really when it comes to working people with working animals. Ferrets deserve a lot of love and care. They work so hard. That thing's going to do more miles than any hawk today. Brilliant little thing. So this is a tough warren. They do normally run back towards me, where they can get back to where we've just come from and into there. And to be honest, for us to help Tommy, we'd probably need to stand in a bit of a position to stop that happening, but we'll see. So ideally we'd be standing over there to stop them going that way. So, well, you and I don't think saw that. Had an instant bolt up and down again there. I don't even know what happened there. We'll find out. But I think we did have it. Sometimes you'll drop the ferret down and literally there'll be a rabbit by the hole and they'll be out in a flash instantly. Catch everyone off guard. Now, of course, this is why when you're ferreting, you want good recall. Because here we go again. All the time the bird's not on the fist, is probably not in the best position. You think, yeah, it's using its nozzle, it's actually in a worse position there because it's decided to use its nozzle and think, I'll get up a tree, I'll get that height. It's going to be in a worse position and probably more blocked off than if it's on the glove. So your ferreting hawk, yeah, you want to be able to follow on and hunt from trees, that's great. But you also want to be able to hunt off the fist if you're going to hunt off the fist. And that means good, fast recall, because you bolt one rabbit, you have a miss, bird flies up a tree. Oh, there we go. We missed a bit of that. Bird goes up a tree, and if it doesn't recall quickly enough, it's not in the right position, as we just saw. And it also failed to break in this heavy wind and did actually catch on the face of that netting. I'm kind of hoping we can catch one from this warren, because I told the boys it's doable. But we did discuss that the difference with a goshawk that's fit and a harrishawk that's fit, the difference in speed isn't what you think. It is if you've never seen a fit harrishawk. The difference in speed is the first short burst, probably even the first five meters. This hawk is a fast hawk, more than fast enough, but the goshawks just seem to be fast from instant compared to anything else. Maybe a sparrowhawk, but you know, harrishawks don't let anyone tell you harrishawks are slow, but nothing has that blistering 0 to 60 distance for that first burst. That means a goshawk is already closing down the gap on these short sort of guerrilla tactic rabbiting, where the rabbits are using cover at speed, but also if they're not going to break and run cleanly and they're going to run straight to more cover or through a hedge, or nothing can beat a goshawk in a short distance. They just have that blistering. When I don't fly goshawks, I see someone fly one, my jaw still hits the ground when I see a goshawk leave the fist. But hopefully we will get some decent flights today, or even before, you know, another day before this video is finished. Okay, we're trying to get a flight with a bit more control, so crosswind hopefully. But I'm blocking the rabbits running this way. They can also run to a warren just there. They can run to the fence line and they can run to the warren there. And they can run to a warren up there. Ferret says no to that one. Perseverance is the game. Better than working there. Way better than the office work I should be doing. Goes one. Oh, hold on, Alan. Oh, no. Look at that. Filmed that other one badly. Perfect run, look at that. So again, I was too busy trying to watch that with my own eye, to be honest, guys. Sorry about that. I did fluff up the camera angle. But again, you're trying to engineer a decent flight. We didn't want it to go back past me to a nearby warren. We didn't want it to go back the other way. We wanted it to break the long way to get that good flight. And to be honest, not a bad effort from that rabbit. And the fence, which so often is in the favour of the game in the quarry, the fence actually bought the rabbit just at that last second. It had to make that decision to go through its gap, and Alan had got hot on its heels by then. What the boys don't know is rabbit number 2 is already broke. I don't actually know if Alan held that or not. Oh, so close. Oh, God. Told you. Too windy. Those are going down. Oh, fucking hell. So we're out lamping now. See what we can catch at night. There's a lot out there. You just can't see them. That was harder than you think. Where is he? Look at them rabbits. Oh, where did he come from? Oh, you got it. Don't need to flash it. Oh, yeah. Nope, thanks. It's amazing how much heat is coming off through the clothes, isn't it? Really. That's right, isn't it? So don't take that one off me as well. God, that's bright. It's like more brighter than daylight. Okay.
Horrible imprint, isn't he?
Give him some in the morning, Tom, with some water.
Well, we was out yesterday. We was out last night. We're going to see where Stan's head is today. Let's find out. Very cold last night, very cold indeed. I've just had to recut because of Kyle's foul language. He's been trying hard with, not Zeus with Stan this year, but we've just got to see really what it's like. He's really not been in his usual place, but very, very windy today, which where we are at, a light breeze would be better, but we shall see. It's been really sunny this morning, first thing, clear blue sky. That sort of joy to be alive winter's day. Nice and dry, but God, it's gone very grey again already. When you're filming on your phone as well, the blue skies make everything a lot brighter, that's for sure. He's got plenty of energy, that's for sure. Yeah, that's the truth. Oh, big hare again. Oh well, he stopped downwind. So the last, what honestly, crying out loud. So the last flight, he actually, after we stopped filming, the hare ran his way and he did put in on it. But he left the glove sticky footed, so then he face planted. And it's just done the same thing. What happens is, by the time the impetus of them leaving the glove that they're still hanging on to, by the time they release, they're off at a different trajectory. And he saw that. He did it at the brakes, like he knew he'd overflown the hare, but rubbish landing. Big hare. Oh, look at this. Something Zeus enjoys chasing. Muntjac. So hard work, hard work. So the last one, we flew straight over it. Stan almost refuses all hares directly downwind. This is what I mean about eagles are complicated. They're not just a big harrisort. Harrisort's actually more complicated really than a lot of people realise, but they're quite complicated. But some of them, like Stan, everything has to be very fine-tuned. The sort of fine-tuning you do for a blooming merlin or sparrowhawk or something. Way more than you'd imagine. Just weight and food type for such a big animal. So there again, really good flight. Yeah, didn't point at the end, didn't like it, didn't like the position, didn't like whatever. Again, good flight, good effort until the last bit. Fucking hell, that thing's fast. Fucking hell. Jeez. That was just too much into a headwind, weren't it? Look how strong that bird is though. That's his fourth slip. And he's still quite strong, so he's got plenty of muscle on him, hasn't he? Plenty of weight on him. So that was an into the wind flight. So Kyle said the last flight, the reason he pulled off was, once again, downwind, he just will not take them. So we tried a completely headwind, and it is windy, so it shows he's got a bit of strength in him still. Plenty of weight on his bones, for sure. So close! Yeah. Kyle's got a 130-mile drive home, so he said, that's it, I'm going to have to drag a rabbit, which he really didn't want to do. And he was just going out to drop the rabbit a long way away to at least make him fly. And the eagle flew off at a tangent and has just mugged a hare in its form, which is, if dragging the rabbit was Kyle's something he really didn't want to do, that out of a tree was the polar opposite of being good. If there's anything to reinforce a bird to take stand in a tree, it's having easy success at game rather than come down to the fist. Blooming eagles. Kyle, what kind of fishing are you starting to do next week? What a naughty thing. Poor old hare. Yeah, we saw it. So annoying I wasn't filming it actually. There's the hare's form. That's the distance he ran. It didn't actually run, it got bounced over there. So Stan, of course, has just done exactly what a predator will want to do. He's scanned around without flying from a standing post. He's used his superb bird of prey eyesight and spotted that hare probably just twitch a little bit because we're nearby, and he's caught it without chasing it. He has done exactly what a mature bird of prey would want to do. He's learned how to hunt the easy way. Completely different to the spectacle of the chase falconers are sort of in it for. And the trouble is, reinforced, this bird's second hand of course. Luckily Zeus is trained not to land in trees, he lands on the ground, but that's what he does, and it's just reinforced a habit. Success for the bird.
Might as well have been shot.
Yeah, waste of a hare. And why hasn't Kyle fed him up on this hare? Because it's just reinforcing more. A good meal was had out of a tree.